World of Warcraft isn't just about loot, raids, or PvP. For a lot of us, especially as we get older, it's also a place where certain stories start to hit differently than they used to. Not because they're flashy, but because they reflect things we're actually living through now. Honor, responsibility, sacrifice. These are a few Warcraft stories that stuck with me, not as a gamer, but as a person. This series is called Lessons from Azeroth. It's not about deep lore explanations or timeline breakdowns. It's about the moments and characters that quietly teach values that matter outside the game. These are lessons that feel different when you're no longer just chasing progression, but trying to be more intentional with your time, your energy, and the people around you. Chapter 1. Tirion Fordring. Tirion Fordring was a paladin bound by law, order, and duty, and yet one of his defining moments came when he chose mercy over obedience. When Tirion spared an orc who had once shown him honor, the Alliance exiled him. He lost his title, his home, his reputation. But Tirion never regretted the choice, because he understood something simple and difficult. Integrity isn't about following rules. It's about following truth. Doing the right thing doesn't always protect you, but it always defines you. Chapter 2. Varok Saurfang. Varok Saurfang was one of the greatest warriors the Horde ever knew. But his greatest struggle wasn't on the battlefield. It was the loss of his son. Saurfang didn't run from his grief. He didn't weaponize it. He didn't excuse his actions because of it. He carried it, quietly, with responsibility. And that's the lesson. Real strength isn't pretending you're fine. It's carrying your burden with dignity. Grief doesn't make you weak. Avoiding it does. Chapter 3. Bolvar Fordragon. After the Lich King was defeated, someone had to take his place. Someone had to hold back the darkness. Bolvar Fordragon stepped forward, not for power, not for glory, but because he understood the cost of inaction. Bolvar accepted a fate worse than death so the world could live in peace. And the lesson is simple but heavy. Sometimes the strongest choice is the one that brings you no reward. True duty is quiet and often unseen. Chapter 4. Taran Zhu. Taran Zhu believed that emotion itself wasn't the enemy. Anger is information. Fear is information. The problem is letting emotion become your master. In Pandaria, discipline wasn't about suppression. It was about control. And that's the lesson. You don't control what you feel, but you always control what you do next. Calm isn't weakness. It's trained strength. Chapter 5. Varian Wrynn. Varian Wrynn wasn't always a king on a throne. He lived as a gladiator, a slave, a fighter with nothing but his will. When he reclaimed his crown, he didn't hide behind it. He led from the front. Because leadership isn't about authority, it's about example. Titles fade, character doesn't. When I think about each of the lessons, I didn't expect these stories to land the way they do now. But as a dad, a gamer, and someone trying to be more intentional, they stick with me. That's why I keep coming back to Azeroth. Not just for the gameplay, but for the lessons you don't notice until you're ready to hear them.